Thanks everybody for joining us today here on the Technology Reseller News Podcast. We're here with Sharone Ben-Levi. He is the VP of Business Development at AudioCodes. Sharone, thank you for joining us today.
Always a pleasure to talk to you, Moshe. Thank you.
It's been a while. I think we sort of understood that it's been maybe 5+ years since we've spoken, so I'm happy to be in contact again, of course.
And I think you got younger.
Oh, I appreciate that.
We have a Benjamin Button thing going on over here.
Reverse. I'm curious about what you guys are up to today. I mean, for everybody, I'm pretty sure everybody knows what you guys are doing, but maybe you can sort of say, who you are, what you guys are doing.
So AudioCodes is ever evolving, and the audience might know us from session border controllers. We're number one in the enterprise space with session border controllers, connecting carriers to UCaaS, CCaaS. That's what we've done for years. But the company has reinventing itself and adding more and more solutions. So it ranges from a full-blown contact center from Microsoft Teams, meeting insights, and analyzing meetings, recording meetings, getting the content from them. Very powerful solutions. But I think specifically for audience of resellers and GSIs and SIs, we've added a lot of things related to AI.
Yeah, and you bring, this is not just the buzzword, it's the real thing. We're talking about all the implications of AI in the contact center and in the collaboration space as well, which I understand that you guys are dabbling in. What's your take on AI in this space? What are you guys doing or seeing in that regard?
So I think the devil of AI, which a lot of people think that AI is the devil, right? But the devil is in the details.
Sure.
And AudioCodes is dealing only with voice AI, right? AI has a very vast use cases. In our context, it's voice. And I think what I've seen channels dealing with is in many cases with CCaaS, they are implementing. Okay, so you can implement a Genesys and NICE, you can implement WebEx, you can implement Amazon Connect, but then it's a chase of implementation and then there's no differentiation between the channels. The details that I'm referring to is what's the best AI for different purposes. And the CCaaS would tell you that they have everything done, everything is perfect, right? It's out of the box. What we found out from enterprises, large enterprises, because usually this is our audience through the channel, is that they say they'd like to mix and match. Because not every AI works well for every purpose. In that context, AudioCodes is allowing the orchestration. You need to connect the audio for, let's say, an IVR, call steering. Mm-hmm. Hi, Moshe, how can I help you? So somehow we need to connect that audio to the contact center. Or maybe Moshe would like to change an appointment he has with a doctor. So appointment scheduling, self-service. Again, you need access to the audio, agent assistant, real-time voice translation. For each one of those cases with AI, you need to access the audio. And AudioCodes is combining those two things, allowing you to choose whatever AI you want to use, whether it's from the hyperscalers, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, or maybe it's Raza, maybe it's Sierra, right? And allowing you to choose also the speech-to-text engine, maybe it's DeepGram, or text-to-speech like 11 Labs, and choose what works for each use case that you have and optimize it from cost. Maybe you have a commit to Microsoft. Maybe you have a language that is better supported by Google. So we allow all this mix and match, and then the reseller now has a differentiation point because he's no longer an implementer of what's out of the box. He brings an optimization that other resellers might not be able to do.
Something interesting for me is that, voice is the richest form of data. You can derive so much from that. And I think a lot of people are focusing on chat and other spaces, but hence the name AudioCodes, right? But you guys are really doubling down on that. In terms of partners and partner feedback, when they're understanding, the different how your model is differentiated, how your technology is differentiated from your competitors, what are they telling you that is sort of the advantage from their perspective?
It's that option to, so there's two motions that we have with partners. One, which is usually typically the large enterprises served by a reseller that has deep knowledge of AI, they would choose this mix and match and build the best optimized AI, even sometimes in front of the CCaaS or next to the CCaaS. But some other resellers would like something simpler with a cookie cutter that can be repeatable, easy to deploy a POC, easy to get to a trial, and then move to a production environment. And what AudioCodes bring to the table from that perspective is actually SaaS. So software as a service, in which you can even build the AI solutions on AudioCodes with agentic AI, with MCPs and RAG and all of this, but you can choose which AI engine you would like to use for your purpose. So that's the differentiation, that we're not locking you to a specific AI. And the reason we're doing it is because it keeps changing.
Yeah.
I've seen companies, large companies in the US, using DeepSeek from China. Again, not from their cloud. They use the open source and they deploy it in their environment, so it's closed, but it keeps changing. And I'll give you another example. Recently, Google announced that Dialogflow has been upgraded to CX Agent Studio. And there's only roughly a couple of companies in the world that can connect the new Google CX Agent Studio to a contact center, and that's AudioCodes and another one that allow me to skip. But that's what we allow. We allow this connectivity. We understand the world of telecommunication and SIP. We also understand the APIs and WebSocket and connectivity to the API. So that's a very rare thing in the industry, which resellers can tap into and differentiate from other resellers.
I want to look at this idea. I mean, I know we're called Technology Reseller News, but I want to sort of pivot and say, we have systems integrators, we have MSPs, we have the gamut. So I just wonder, if I'm not a reseller, if I'm someone who is looking to have that ARR, that monthly recurring revenue, that annual recurring revenue, and not just that initial sale, what is that opportunity like with AudioCodes?
So let's say that one area that can be out of the box and very popular would be real-time translation or real-time voice translation. So for example, Moshe, you can speak Spanish. The bot would translate your Spanish to English for me. I would speak English to the bot, and the bot would speak Spanish back to you. That's an experience that is already built.
Sure.
And is very high demand because a human translator is $2.5 per minute, and an AI translator is 15 cents.
Yeah.
So the ROI is enormous over there, and those AI translators are not getting tired. They are working 24/7. You don't need to use workforce management to schedule how many of them you have, and they speak almost any language.
Yeah.
So that kind of versatility can create for a system integrator a differentiation, and we see a lot of enterprises asking for it.
Yeah.
And it's not readily available in the market. Right now it's relatively new. So still there's a window of opportunity to take advantage of it and create a differentiation and a service that enterprises are looking for.
Yeah, in some instances, what I've understood to be the case is that the technology, and I'm not speaking about AudioCodes in general, it's not quite there. Right. There's a lot of inaccuracies. Right. I've seen some that are quite good, by the way. That's just my commentary separately. But I understand that you guys are actually planning to make some announcements at the show. Could you maybe guide me through a couple of those highlights or key announcements?
So the announcement of the integration with Google, I think, is one major one. There's another announcement about meeting insight on premise or meeting intelligence on premise. So one area that AudioCodes, I think, excels in is recording meetings.
Yes.
A lot of UCaaS and UCaaS solutions can record meetings. The question is, what information you take out of it?
That data layer, right?
The data layer, and how easy it is for the organization to access this data. So we actually built it that it looks like a mailbox. You can actually find any recording from any time, anywhere, and send it to another group and manage it. But I think more important, we are probably, as far as I know, the only one that can install it on premise.
Oh, okay.
So if you're thinking about government or highly secured requirement, this does not have to be in the cloud.
Sure.
Everybody says, "Oh, cloud," cloud is the buzzword, but sometimes it might be there's a requirement for security, and you want to own it, maybe in your own private cloud or in your own data center, and we are probably the only one that can provide this meeting interaction on premise, and that will be one of the announcements here at the show.
You're getting into that data sovereignty
Yes, exactly.
area, which is something
Yes.
that I've heard so much of. I'm actually working on a piece separately, independently of this, about that very topic, and I just wonder, what's the approach from AudioCodes rather on that from that perspective rather.
So cloud is I think it's a good thing. It's improvement, but when you speak with especially government, but other large healthcare organizations, they do not want the data to go to the cloud.
Sure.
There are risks over there.
They want to control that
They
data.
want to control the data. So in most of the solutions that we offer, the management system might be in the cloud, but the data would still stay
Sure.
within the enterprise, governed by the enterprise. And it's true for AI, and it's also true for voice and recordings. And we have a very strong emphasis to allow those coexistence, hybrid environment. Even with the traditional session border controllers, you'd see that when UC is going to the cloud and CC is going to the cloud, somebody at management are saying, let's get rid of the data centers.
Yeah.
And along the way with it, telecom is going away. So let's buy the minutes from Microsoft Teams. Let's buy the minutes from Genesys Cloud Voice. Let's buy the minutes from AT&T or Verizon, or let them host the telecom. Mm-hmm. At that point, you lost control on telecom. And why is it important for the enterprises not to lose control? It's the cost negotiation. It's troubleshooting tools. It's being able to make the changes on your own when you need them and not wait 5 days to make a change. It's business continuity. What happens if the CCAS or UCAS are going down and you want to switch, which happened in October 24 for AWS, almost on global scale.
Everybody still remembers it. Yeah.
How do you switch? If you gave the minutes, again, not picking on Amazon, to Amazon Connect or to Genesys, and AWS went down, NICE is on AWS.
Yeah.
You lost control. You have nothing to do.
Yeah.
So if you host it by AudioCodes in Azure when the others are in AWS, you get business continuity. So it's super important not to treat cloud as a trivial. Cloud is a data center.
Yeah.
And it can go down. So your business continuity plan needs to account for alternatives. And maybe you need multiple clouds. Maybe you want to host the telecom by AudioCodes, which gives you control to troubleshooting and management. It's actually co-managed or co-managed by both of us.
Sure.
And you're not dependent on the UCAS and the CCAS. So this helps with a lot of things. And I would say that the most interesting thing is actually the AI. And you would say, Moshe, how are you tying it up, everything back to AI?
Everything is AI.
Everything is AI, right?
Everything is AI.
In this context, if you control the telecom, you control the tapping point to the audio, which is important if you want to connect your own AI, to build your own IVR, to build your own self-service, to build your own agent assist, to do your own language translation. You need to access the audio. And what CCAS would offer you is access their media server, and they are basically not happy about it. So the prices would be high.
Yeah.
And the barrier would be high. And then you need to design it based on the interfaces they offer. If you gave the minutes to the CCAS or you gave it to a carrier, you most likely would not get access to CPREC. You most likely would not have access to SIP. So you're very constrained from AI, ability to build your own AI and the access point. So this control of telecom in your environment or a different environment is super important now, and it's strategic for the enterprise to keep the control on telecom.
Yeah, we've gone back and forth. We went from pure cloud to hybrid, and now we've we've sort of made that pivot back. But Sharone, I really want to thank you for your time.
Hope you guys will have a great show over here and get a lot of value out of it, and have a great time.
Thanks for joining us here live at Enterprise Connect. We'll have more for you.